We're just packed in together. You kind of push your way through, but you get used to it. You deal with what you're used to by just kind of your senses cut it out. It took a year. It took a year before I could deal with so many people in my way and I'm in their way. You have so many neighbors because we're stacked on top of each other. If someone wants to play their music loud, here's the thing, you don't get angry with each other. How often? It would be a constant battle. So you just deal with each other's noise. And this first year is where you're going through so much. You haven't figured out how to put it all together yet.
So let me ask this:
And
if all you know is this crazy dense level of people all over each other, and then you go on vacation to Des Moines, what would they think?
this is a T-mall. It is what it looks like. And I would ride my bike right through this thing to kind of cut down my journey to work. Other people are riding their motorcycles through the
It
mall.
sounds like a warehouse, but it's not. It's a mall.
Yeah, a warehouse, it would need, what, 2 or 3 workers. Every shop has workers. It's as though they're expecting everyone to show up any minute, but
What's that?
you can ride right through it.
What is that? What is that?
It's a fish.
Yeah.
That
What's that all about?
it's hanging on a ladder.
Why?
It's drying. It's drying.
Is it?
I don't know.
How do you even know what to take a picture of, and how do you know what to save?
I become a photographer not because of the love of photography, but just out of just taking pictures of what was amazing to see or experience. Or I think it's important to know about China, and I just think I want to remember that. It's just the things right out my window. That's what these pictures are. Then the second year, I found a place. It's a little village that's been kind of wiped away. Not kind of. It has been wiped away. And it was so impactful for me to see it. It's not something I saw once and walked away from. It was something I passed by every day. And so I chose to not pass by it. I passed through it every day and saw it as it got wiped away. I watched it get clean. The word cleaned is probably the worst word to use, but that's what China was doing. It was just saying, look, we're starting fresh. And there's a lot of feelings that go with that. And at first I thought they were all negative feelings, like this place deserves to exist. So this is a second reason to photograph. There's the beauty of places, but then there's like a draw that I felt, and I had to go back again and again through it, watching it disappear. I started to realize there's a connection between what I was going through during that first year and what the people at that place were going through. Just a small connection. And that might be part of why I couldn't stop photographing it. But what we're looking at here, these are places that have gone a different way. They've decided that these places deserve to be maintained and refurbished and shown in their highest beauty.
You said that they chose some places to invest in and maintain and some places to be removed. How did they make that choice? Was it anything to do with ethnic groups? Or?
That's not this situation.
It's unrelated.
Right, it's unrelated.
Unrelated to the... So how do they decide what cities are maintained? Is that based on the quality of the place? If it was built better, it gets to stay, or what?
Well, I bet that is part of it. There's other things that I consider more important. If these buildings had been outside of Shanghai, where the land is a little less valuable, they'll probably have a better chance of staying. To be a village that is chosen to be maintained, there's some interesting things about that. You should be about 2 hours or less away from a big city like Shanghai, where there's plenty of people that want to come visit you. I also see the other side of it. The people living here, they have a responsibility, part of the deal, and that is that they're going to maintain a lifestyle that looks like a lifestyle of the past and dress that way as well.
In America, you would pay people to continue living in a trailer park. No, please don't take that car off the blocks. Leave it there and let the grass grow up around it. We need that.
You see these? Do you know what these things are? I guess you do, knowing who you are.
Yeah, those are silkworms.
But have you ever seen anyone make these things into silk?
No.
So this giant machine pulls silk from, I guess, 1,000 silkworms at one time, and it just unrolls it. It goes through this machine until it's woven into a piece of silk. It's pretty incredible.
What's up with those crickets?
Oh, I believe those are lucky crickets. If they're not lucky crickets, they're fighting crickets, but I'm pretty sure they're for luck. One of the surprising things for me about China is just how often I hear something new that has to do with luck. I was learning about this one and that one. Eat your food with like this. Don't put your chopsticks like that. It just goes on and on.
How different is that from religion? If every time somebody said something about luck, if instead it was a cross or something about religion.
I was walking down the street alone in Shanghai, and it's dark, except for all these lights everywhere. You get these glowing reds and greens, and there, the biggest light when I turned the corner was 666, giant 9-foot letters, just. And a feeling came over me, like all this luck stuff, it seemed strange. Like, oh, how can you believe that? But when I had that visceral feeling, numbness and my kind of lost strength, I asked friends about it the next day and learned that it's just a lucky, they saw it as lucky. And so this strange clash made me realize, oh, I already believe it. It's within me. It's just not as many different examples. That's just a normal woman of an average city walking her chickens. I don't know if she's taking them to sell, but we can see these chickens, they just stay right by her. This is a daily activity. So it's not just the special places. Day-to-day life is an amazing thing.
What's going on with your apartment?
My apartment?
The background. What I see in the background.
My vegetables?
Why do you have vegetables hanging up?
I've made it a mess in here to kind of fit my project.
Oh. Like just you have random stuff hanging off of ladders and whatnot for no reason.
So Yeah, I mean, you could say no reason, but I just told you why.
Randomness for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Africa recently, and I was the first white guy that a lot of people saw because I was out in the villages, and they always treated me really well, even though I was with other people from Africa who were medical doctors or veterinarians. They were all scientists. We were all equal in rank, but everybody treated me like I was the guy in charge just because I was white.
Do you get stared at?
If in Africa, if I'm out in the villages, they do, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like here too, especially older people who don't live in Shanghai. I can totally understand that. If I had never seen a blue person, and here they are, I understand. I went into a little restaurant and ordered my food, and when the cook saw who was in his restaurant, he's excited that I'm there. This would never be the attitude in Shanghai. He shows me the pictures on the wall of the 4 other Westerners that have come into his shop, and he wants my picture on the wall. But he also didn't want me to pay for the meal. The little story I'm about to tell, it's at this exact place that we're looking at, but it's like any other of these thousands of places scattered through the city. They're all about the same. 6 little tables, no backs to the seats, just that flat top with no back. And a lot of the places you get to go to the back where they're cooking and just point at the vegetables and the meats that you want. And so you get to pick it out, which is really handy for me. Because if they don't let you back there like that, you have a menu with Chinese writing. When I go into a place and I can't point and I have to deal with Chinese writing, I just walk out and go to the next place. So I go into this little restaurant often and eat the same couple of different meals each time. And one of the things I like to have there is chicken, except that how they cook here in China has a huge flaw for me, and it would be for you. You have to eat their chicken so carefully because they chop the chicken legs into pieces, and they don't chop with any precision, or maybe they do. Maybe they see this as the right way to chop. The bone shatters and enters all the meat everywhere, just poking out everywhere. So it's like you have to carefully, and that first year when you're learning, you forget every time, and wham, right into your gums, the bones. But now it's years later, I've been eating this type of food for all this time, and it never happens to me the way it did that first year. So I was telling Don about it. Don, let's eat chicken. The chicken's good, but you got to be careful how you chew. He said, well, why don't we just have them cook it in a full leg? And I said, yeah, Don, it's not going to work. I've tried. I've tried ordering. And he said, so why can't you? Will he not do it? And I said, Don, you can't communicate. I would like to, you know what, Don? I can't communicate. Maybe you can. Go order this chicken leg in a full piece. Don is using his hands the way he's been practicing for a week, trying to talk. So he point at the chicken. The chicken goes in the pan. The man pulls up his blade, and he's gonna chop down. And Don goes, no. And the guy stops, and he says, and he's trying to, with his hands, explain, don't cut it. But any words you use are useless. It's only hand movements that are doing anything. And the guy's thinking, okay, not the chicken. And he would point at the fish. The fish? We changing our mind? No, chicken. The guy's hand goes back up. No. And the guy, oh, the fish? And he couldn't, there's no way to say, don't cut the chicken, because there is no second option. Cutting the chicken is the only thing that's going to happen here. And so eventually, yeah, we gave up, and we carefully had our gums impaled once again.